The NBA regular season tipped off this past Tuesday, and here on the Roundup, we have 3 bold NBA predictions for this season. Now, I didn't want to discuss it all alone, so today we're joined by Deontay Hagler and Aiden Subira. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
You know a little bit. Yeah, I know a little bit about basketball. So let's start with bold prediction number 1. Going to our boy Zion. I think Zion will win Rookie of the Year, but also make the All-Star team. Blake Griffin was the last one to do that in 2011. What do you guys think, Deontay?
First, he's not getting Rookie of the Year. I'm going with Tyler Hero with that. He might make the All-Star team. I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it.
Well, Rookie of the Year, I think you can just give it to Zion now. I think he's the best player in this rookie class, most explosive, most physical player in this class, probably the best prospect we've seen since LeBron. And as far as All-Stars, I don't see him making the All-Star team just because the West is so stacked. It's only 7 front court players that make it in the All-Star game. And we have LeBron, AD, Jokic, Kawhi, Porzingis, Paul George. I feel like those are all locks, and that's 6 guys right there. So yes to Rookie of the Year, no, but the All-Star game, no.
So we got some switched opinions here. Deontay, I kind of see you making some faces towards Aiden's comments. Explain, first of all, why you think Tyler is going to get Rookie of the Year.
Because Tyler, first of all, when you don't look at skill when you look at Zion. With Zion, you see just height. His dunking ability is amazing. His speed is amazing. But when you look at Tyler, you see the skill, the ball handling. He can shoot, he can space the floor, he can do all of that. He's not just scoring in the paint, he's scoring outside, the perimeter, everything like that, and he's playing defense. So when you look at Tyler, you want an all-around game for your Rookie of the Year. But when you look at Zion, is it just going to be the hype? And I think it's kind of just going to be the hype that would win him the Rookie of the Year. But for me, I'm picking Tyler or John Morant from Memphis Grizzlies.
Good choices, but Aiden, I mean, Zion is going through some injuries right now. How do you think that will affect him going into making
Me personally, I'm not too nervous about the injuries as much as everybody else. He has had 3 knee injuries in the past 9 months, 8 months. So that's something to think about. He's almost 300 pounds, but I feel once he gets on the court, I think they're making a bigger deal about the load management than what it really is, and I think he's gonna perform. He's definitely gonna perform.
It might just be the next Derrick Rose.
You never know. You never know. This NBA season, who knows what's going to happen. But kind of going off the Zion talk, into our bold prediction number 2, we have the Pelicans making playoffs. Aiden, we're going to start with you on this one.
The Pelicans making the playoffs is not going to happen. They're a really young team. They're still developing. They have a lot of young guys on that team. In the West is really stacked this year. The West is really a monster. When you look at the bottom half of the West, you have the Warriors, the Spurs, the Mavs, the Pelicans, the Lakers, the Blazers. Those are all the teams that are going to be vying for, the 5th seed, the 6th seed, the 7th seed, the 8th seed. And I just think for a young team, it's too much to ask for them to make the playoffs right now.
I'm surprised you got the Lakers that low. But anyway,
overrated. The Lakers are completely overrated, but that's another discussion for another day.
Another discussion for another day. What do you got to say?
The Pelicans will not make playoffs. Even if they were, they would have to beat the Kings, and I don't see them beating the Kings. And if they do, they'll have the 8th seed. But no, they're too young. They have some experience with vets, with JJ Redick, but without anybody else, that team goes nowhere.
I do have to ask about Anthony Davis, because obviously not on the team anymore. A lot of drama left when he left the team as well. Do you think with that whole debacle gone, that they have some type of chance at least? I know you guys said no, but do you think the chances are better?
Well, me personally, I think it's better for the young guys like Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, because they don't have that weight of, am I going to be getting traded, hanging over their head all season? But still, for them to make playoffs, you're going to have to see a lot of improvement from Brandon Ingram, from Lonzo, and the West is just tough. It's super tough in the West, so we'll see what happens.
I've definitely seen improvement, especially from Lonzo. Brandon Ingram's still looking the same, but at least he's making his threes now. Lonzo's found the confidence. Josh Hart is still being Josh Hart, and now I love it. I love his game. But even with Anthony Davis being gone, they're still that same team. In general, they're still not going to make the playoffs. You have Jrue Holiday that can help out. You have Okafor, but he might not even last long on the team. So you have all this talent, but what can you do with it? Khalil Alexander, he might even be big for them. And you still got Jackson Hayes, who I don't think he played in the first game. So you still have all this talent, but they still have to grow. So this season will determine that, and I don't think they make playoffs still.
Right, so both of you mentioned that the West is absolutely stacked this year. So that brings us to bold prediction number 3, and that is the Warriors. Are they going to make Western Conference Finals? Deontay, what you got to say about that? You're laughing.
I'm laughing because I can't believe people really think the Warriors are going to make the conference finals. No, they're not. Not even close. Not even close. They might not even be 7th in the West, honestly. You lose Klay. Klay is your biggest player. You add D'Lo. D'Lo is another Steph Curry. He can shoot, but no defense. I'm sorry, Draymond cannot be the only one playing defense, so you need Klay. Without Klay, your team is dismantled, and without your bench, you don't have no bench going into the NBA season. So if you're just looking just to shoot and then not play defense, then you can kiss your playoff berth this year. Goodbye.
Yeah, well, me personally, I think the Warriors need to focus on just making the playoffs before we think about conference finals. They lost a lot of key guys from that core championship team. They lost KD, they lost Iguodala, they lost Sean Livingston, and then Klay, he's going to be gone with the ACL. And like I said earlier, the West is a monster this year. It's going to be really tough. And they're going to finish in the bottom half of the West if they do make the playoffs. So they're going to be a 5th seed, 6th seed, 7th seed. And I don't see them going into somewhere like a Houston, like you could say the Clippers. I don't see them going in there and stealing home court and making it all the way to the conference finals. That's too much to ask, especially with the losses that they've had. And you brought them the accusation of Russell.
Yeah.
I'm personally not a fan of that move just because he's a ball dominant player and the Warriors are predicated off of their ball movement and creating team offense, and he's a very ball dominant player. So
exactly,
it's going to be interesting to see how him and Steph mesh in the backcourt.
I just don't see it happening, honestly. They might even, it'd be crazy if the Spurs were to play the Warriors in the first round. Spurs would definitely probably sweep them, but it would just be crazy to me because you have that history with Steve Kerr and Popovich. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, but also Klay might be done for this season. It might. They said that it could be AllStar break, but it's looking now for the season, and that's your defense. Your defense is gone. That's your 60-point man in a quarter. So that's gone too.
Absolutely, great point. You guys are breaking a lot of Warriors fans' hearts right now, but I mean,
it's all good. They dominated the last 4 years. It's fine.
Right.
The last 4 or 5 years was theirs. It's fine.
I do have to say, Steve Kerr seems very optimistic and facing these new challenges for this season. But I mean, only time will tell right now. So
of course, you have to keep your team intact. You have to make sure the media knows that you're still standing by your team, regardless of who's on the team, who's on the roster, which spots are filled in. But come on, Steve Kerr. Be honest. Keep it real. You gotta keep it real now. You gotta keep it real.
This is also going to be a really big year for Steph Curry because we're really going to be able to get to see him without the best supporting cast in the league without him for the first time. So I'm really excited to see what he does this year.
Yeah, well, obviously, a lot of big predictions, bold predictions at that for the NBA regular season coming up, going on right now. I am heated from that debate. I don't know about you guys, so I'm going to have Deontay and Aiden take us out for the show today. That's all for the Roundup.
All right, so follow us on YouTube at Rebel Report UNLV, also on Twitter at Rebel Report UNLV, on Instagram Rebel Report _UNLV, and then like us on Facebook at Rebel Report UNLV. It's simple, just you got to watch it and love us.
Yeah, well, I'm Danielle Basilio for the Roundup.
I'm Deontay Hagler.
And I'm Aiden Sabira.
Signing off today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
What it do, baby?